Welcome back, guys, to another episode here on Satisfactory. Solon here, and we are going to be working on the foundation for our foundation. That way, it won't be floating anymore. The main portion of this build is going to be with these frames. We're going to use the inverted frame ramp and the square frame. Those are going to be the main parts we use here, and it's very simple. You use the inverted frame until you reach the mushroom, and then you use the squares to fill everything else in. So it's a very simple style, but I really ended up liking the look. The only issue was here in the corner where this piece didn't really fit well. As you can see, I just didn't like that look, and nothing else was going to line up. So I ended up trying something with these painted beams. Basically, you set down a little square right there where it would be the first point, and then you look for the angle here in the corner, and that's it. You just got to kind of hit that same corner every time so that it looks good. I just painted it black, and that was the main portion. Every corner got one of these angular beams. Other than that, everything else we followed using the frames. Today we have a very heavy build video. I really enjoy the building of this game, and that's the main part that I really enjoy showing everybody, right? But anyways, the point is that today we're going to be making a rubber and plastic factory. It involves a lot of steps and a lot of excess materials that we also make aside from the rubber and plastic, and because of that we have additional mini factories we have to build to deal with all that stuff. At this point I'm a little over 150 hours playing into this game, not into this specific world, but into this game overall. And while I wouldn't say I'm a professional Satisfactory player like Kibitz or Doc Gaming, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from them, and I've learned a lot from a bunch of people. But the main thing, I guess you could say, is that I've learned and picked up on and really enjoyed is the verticality of the game. I really like trying to build my factories upwards and not just going, left to right, forward to backwards. I like trying to go up and trying to figure out ways to lower the footprint on the factory by going up. And there we are, fixing the floating foundations for all of our factories out here. Like I said, I really like the way it looks. I like even how it's clipping into the mushroom. I feel like it looks pretty good. So our preliminary oil and plastic factory we got right here needs to go. This is where we're going to build the big one. So we're going to need these oil nodes that are down here underneath these. I don't know if you would still consider them caves or not, but got to get rid of these guys here. And I think there's another. Yeah, there he is. You gotta be careful with that attack because that one will actually almost kill you. And there are a bunch of slugs in here, so let's go ahead and grab those real quick. But yeah, for this build we're gonna use all the nodes that are left in this area, or the ones that are nearby, which is like 4 of them. There's also a summer sloop right here, so let's go ahead and grab that real quick. That was a Matrix level dodge. Too bad your dad ate your mom and now you're all grumpy.
The effigy only sings when you compose. I was not built to use organic components for communication. I am adjusting.
The effigies make a flow. You are not the current.
I am not sure what you mean. I do run on a current. I am a digital construct.
I always find their conversations really interesting, and I want to try and I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about. And in this case, I'm like, what are the effigies to begin with? You know, is it me, the people that are being controlled, or I don't know. But it's really interesting. Altogether, the 4 oil nodes add up to 420 units of oil. Both the plastic and the rubber use 30 units per minute. So that means that in total, we can make 14 refineries, 7 for plastic, 7 for rubber. So now we know what our baseline is, we can start building.
Are you sure that spot makes sense?
Yes, Ada, don't question my decisions, alright? Just let me work. Looks good so far. Over here on the right, on that central mushroom, is where we're going to build one of those mini factories for the heavy oil residue that's going to come out of the machines after making the plastic and the rubber. Left a little punching bag behind. I've always really enjoyed playing video games, but back in the day, I would play with my brothers, and it was always fun because you'd be, arguing about who's next, or you'd be split screening, playing zombies or whatever, and yelling at each other to save each other and all that stuff. But nowadays you don't do that as much. You don't have someone right there with you playing the game, which was really a big part of the fun for me, at least. And one of the reasons why I started trying to make videos on this is to fulfill that a little bit. Being able to talk to people, create a community around the game, it just seemed like a fun idea, and it could fulfill that side of the video game playing. We're gonna need more refineries to be able to change the heavy oil residue into fuel. And if my math is correct, we will be making 210 heavy oil residue, because the rubber actually creates 20 units and the plastic creates 10, and it adds up to a total of 210
While I
units.
value the investment in your work, invest it somewhere more productive.
I don't know if it was this update or the last update, but they made Ada a lot more vocal. Anyways, this is the frame that I'm building for these refineries to be able to stack them. If you noticed a second ago, the frame was kind of covering the exhaust pipe. I do move that over a little bit, but this is the basic gist of the frame. So we're gonna build it in a blueprint designer, that way I don't have to rebuild it every single time. And it's pretty basic. I counted the numbers, that way I can just easily build it. You can kind of see them, they're kind of small on the right side, but basically they are 21 in length, they're 21 meters, 8 meters in width, and 32 meters in height. And then this beam is, this one goes right on the edge, but the other one goes offset 2 nudges over, so that it doesn't cover the exhaust pipe. These guys, you just put them perfectly in the corner, just go straight up until it hits 32, and that's it. Again, you just nudge it, make sure it's perfectly inside the beam. I'm really glad they updated us to the up and down adjustments with the page up, page down. It's really great. I don't know how I would have figured out how to do this without that. I'm pretty sure I have figured it out before, but now that that's there, it's just so easy. Alright, we'll call this the refinery frame. Yeah. And now we're good to go. We can set it all up, install them on all the ground floor refineries. The lower level is already designated for the plastic. So I'm gonna set down a refinery, switch it to rubber, copy it. Now I don't have to go in and change it on every single machine. All the machines are, since it was copied from a rubber refinery, now all of these that I set down are going to be rubber refineries. Saving a little bit of time, you know. Right now we're in front of the refineries, and the current pipe that I have is a Mark 1 pipe, which can only ship or send or flow 300 units of any fluid. In the front, we're only going to be at 210 units of heavy oil residue, so I can use just one pipe the whole way and join them, so it can be one main pipe. On the back though, it's if you guys remember, it's 420 units. Because my pipe can only carry 300, I will have to have two different main pipelines going to the two sets of machines. This is also actually a better idea for multiple reasons. The second reason why this is a better idea is because if I didn't do it this way and I tried to just tee it off from the lower level, every single one of these pipes would need extra pumps to push it up. And now it's just one pipe that needs pumps. These guys have been trying to attack me all day. Now they're not gonna be annoying me anymore.
Your tastes are questionable.
Ada, you literally don't have taste buds. You don't know what anything tastes like. So don't be telling me that I have questionable tastes. These oil extractors, they weren't evenly split. So what that means is that I couldn't get them to evenly break to 210 oil, one for each. Because of that, I had to kind of try and figure out the priority or the VIP method of piping. I don't think I did it correctly. I just kind of lowered one pipe and raised the other one, but I don't think that's correct. I think I need to tilt the T vertically so that the VIP works. And I'm hoping that I'm gonna be checking the efficiency and making sure everything is correct, but I'm hoping that it works out regardless, because at the end of the day, all of these machines are going to be pulling oil, and it's just going to hopefully go where it needs to go. So as you can see here in the center little console deal, or the data right there in the middle, you can see the efficiency in the bottom right where the percentage is. I'll be keeping an eye on that. I'll come back to these machines and make sure that their efficiency is good, and that nothing is getting backed up like the heavy oil residue or the rubber. And that way we know that the machines are working properly. The main purpose of this factory is the rubber and the plastic. Anything else we get out of it is extra, but I don't want the rubber and plastic production to stop or slow down because of anything else. So as long as that doesn't happen, the rest it's just extra efficiency, extra materials that we're getting out of it. Now it's time to build the conveyor belt that's going to carry the plastic and the rubber to, right now it's going to be just to storage because I don't have anywhere else to really take it right this second. What I decided to do here is basically, I guess you could call it mergers on a stick. I just stacked all 4 upwards, erased the bottom 2, and then put a beam down as support. The lower level will carry the plastic and the upper level will carry the rubber. The other reason why playing with someone else in the same room with you or split screening was because usually they wanted you to do good. They wanted you to win or to be able to help them win, right? So it was more supportive. Whereas when you're playing online right now, it's like, it's bad, man. They're calling you out for being bad, and as soon as they see you do one bad thing, it's like, dude, you suck, and they quit and they move on to the next person. And it's okay, it's part of the game. I'm not complaining. Like, I get it. It's a competition, right? And everybody wants to win. So that's cool. I get that. But it was just different, and it's okay though. Like, this method of creating content and creating games, it could be like that. If you make something and you post it, tell me where it is and we'll take a look at it. If there's a way for me to go into your world for a little bit and we can explore your designs and your creations, like, that would be sick. That would be cool. We could definitely check out methods of doing that. So building this community, or trying to, will hopefully we'll be able to make that, and we'll be able to see each other's builds and each other's growth, and it'll be a lot of fun. Alright, this is where, if you guys saw in the last episode, this is our residual plastic factory. Residual because we're using the leftover polymer resin from the power plant to make plastic. That plastic is being used it's going to be used to make those empty containers that's going to be used for the fuel packaging. So we're going to make a little conveyor belt that goes from there up, from the plastic factory up to the fuel and packaging factory. Let's speed it up a little, just because we've been doing a lot of building already. So I jumped ahead on all the piping. I was thinking of sinking any extra plastic containers, but I think we're actually maybe going to be short on plastic containers. So instead of having that tee off right there where they're going to come up, I'm going to just change that. We are going to have to use the sink though, to make sure that we don't get overflowed with fuel and the machines stop. So like I said, I don't really care that much if some of the fuel goes to waste. I do care if the fuel stops the creation of the plastic and the rubber. So we're going to fill up this fuel container using this smart splitter, and any excess fuel is just going to go into the sink. Let's turn everything on. Yeah, and we got our fuel moving. Got our plastic containers coming up. Everything seems to be working properly. And once that container fills up, the overflow will go into the sink right here. Let's do a little overview. We have our oil over here. It flows down and it hooks up to the other oil extractors we have on the ground floor. Flows upwards towards the plastic and rubber refineries. They get processed. And then we flow downwards to the storage containers and to this mini fuel refinery and packagers. This is where all the heavy oil residue gets changed into fuel. Packaged and stored or sunk. And the plastic empty containers are being made right here. Polymer resin is transformed into plastic using water, and the plastic is changed into the empty containers, and it takes a ride all the way back up to the previous system. Sweet. Looks good. And that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. This is going to take us another step closer to beating this game. I'm going to have to download that one app that's in the Steam store where you can map out your entire build, because it's getting difficult, choosing a path. Like, which way do we have to go? What should I make next? What should the next factory be, and how big should it be? So I think I'm going to use that app that a lot of different creators make, or that a lot of different creators use. It seems to be very helpful. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to kind of showcase everything we've done so far and explain the goal, and then make a plan for what's next. What are the next things that we're going to build? What are we shooting for? So thanks for tagging along. See you guys in the next one.